The ring slide is a science activity. No, really. It actually teaches the concept of force, pressure, and even object permanence. As you know, object permanence is a skill which a child develops over a period of time, say from 4 to 6 months of age, where they have to understand that objects exist, which means objects are permanent even if we are not able to see them, and that's object permanence. And children develop this skill slowly and gradually, but we can support development of that skill through play, and this is a great activity for children to learn that object permanence concept. But like I said, this is first a science activity. So let's say your child is playing with it. Firstly, they may not know what to do with this, so they might just start stacking. Now if you choose to show how to play with this activity, that's fine too. Just use the show principle and start with few rings, because in this case you won't be able to start with one ring because the ring has to come from the other side, and since you'll be doing it slowly, slow hands, omit words, you will need more rings. So start with this ring stacked on one side and start pushing the ring slowly from the other side. As you can see, you cannot see the rings in this case, so your child might wonder where did the rings go. But as you keep pushing slowly, the rings will start appearing on the other side and start stacking on the other side. And then you can begin the activity all over again from the other side. Now this activity can be done on floor, on a table like this, or your child might sit up and stand while doing this activity, and that's perfectly okay. If your child stands up and does this activity, you don't need to nudge them to sit down. Let them do it the way they want to do it. I've seen kids, when they do it, they keep looking at, oh, there's a ring, how do I take it out? Anything that your child does with this activity, even pick it up and look under and bang it, it's fine. They're trying to see how this activity works. And this is not a typical toy that you'll get in a toy store. This is an educational activity, and for an 18 to 20 month old kid to indulge in this activity is a great learning experience. Now let's come to the science aspect of it. So if your child is applying too much pressure, the rings may not necessarily fall in this, they might go elsewhere. So they'll have to arrive at a pressure which is right enough for the rings to fall on this. Again, they can do it quickly depending on how much force they apply. Again, a lesson in science. Or they can do it slowly and the pace will slow down because the pressure that they're applying is less. And then there's that lesson in balance, because depending on the force, this may not land on the dowel, so they have to arrive at the right balance, right force to ensure that the landing is perfect. And this is a great activity for repetition as well. So if your child is standing up and doing it, it's a full body activity, and if they're sitting and doing it, it develops focus, it develops concentration and repetition. Repetition is what develops mastery. So any activity that your child does, as long as there's repetition involved, you have a winning activity at hand. And if an activity is done in one go, like an art and craft activity, or even blocks which you just build and then they're done and then you're not using again, that learning has capped. But when they're doing this activity, children don't realize when they get engaged in a repetitive activity, and that's what we want. We want children to be involved in repetitive activities because that's what builds concentration and attention span, and these are coveted skills. You want your child to develop these skills early on because of the distracted environment that we live in. So happy learning.